in Duluth, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. I want to show people this. So, Paul, you sent me this. This is 2010 to 2024 economic indicators. And so this line here is total value in stock market. So what do you want to say about this this graph? So this is from 2010 values down there, and this is 2024% increase. So
we want to talk about the whole sphere of the artificial financial inflationary game that makes lots of people feel great about how well they've done, and at the same time they can be complaining at the gas pump or at the grocery store. For most people, there's just a lot of reason to complain. There's a lot of pain and anguish.
Well, because this
so
is
when we go to just quickly to I'm going to get to that one.
Okay.
When you go to 2007, our debt to how great the country's doing as a ratio was about half. For the money we did for the year, half of that was the amount of debt we carried. In 2010, it was 86%. So to get through the 08 recession, they took our debt load from 50% to 86% in 3 years.
Wow.
This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. So this is a look beneath the surface. If you go back to the chart, you'll see that the value of the stock market has exploded. Exploded from 2010. Look at that.
2010, it's exploded. But people's
and you look at that bottom line, the dashed line.
This is people's average.
This is where the pain comes from. That's wage growth. That's household income growth. Hardly grew at all.
Hardly grew at all. But look at your rent grew this much. Your home prices grew that much. Your cost to raise a child to 18 went up that much. Your gasoline, eggs, corporate profit, stock market, total value in stock. So everything was blowing. All the costs are going way up. Stock market.
Now look at that one. The corporate profit growth.
Yeah.
Look how different that is from household income growth. How evil is that?
So that's corporate gouging. Is that what that is?
It's just they're closer to the money printing than Harry Homeowner is.
Right. Okay.
Right. They're closer and have access to cheap dollars when dollars was free to borrow. From 2008 to 2016, Obama, his entire presidency, interest rate was 1/4 of a point by zero. So you literally could have borrowed $1 billion, put it in the stock market, you'd have $5 billion today. You could have borrowed money and just invested it, but most people, Harry Homeowner, doesn't have access to go borrow, even think to go sign a note for $100 grand or $1 million and invest it in something. They've been struggling. Their paychecks have gotten eaten away. And let's say you had $1 million in 2010, you have $1 million today. You've easily lost 30% of that buying power. Like back in the movie, if no one remembers this in your audience, I apologize, but Jimmy Stewart, A Wonderful Life, when he loses that $8,000 deposit at the bank, that would be $128,000 today. In just 50 years.
Yeah.
So 40 years. So I want people to understand this is erosion. This is falsehood. This is artificial. This isn't real. The next chart we could show, but we don't need to, just picture something worth 100 cents 100 years ago, 56 cents 24 years ago, and 3 cents today. You're burning that resource. This is where the printed money went. It went into eggs. It went into gasoline. It went into, to get this one. In 2010, it would cost $225 grand to raise a kid from 0 to 18 years old. Today, it would cost you $465,000 to raise a newborn today to 18 years old.
Wow.
That's $25,000 a year per child. When average income is $70,000 a year. Average income. Most people having kids are at a junior level of income. So now you understand how much struggle. So that gets more services, more demand on the government for needs. That's why Kamala's talking about, we'll give parents a break having kids, 5-6 grand a year. Printing money is causing the ruin. It's causing the anguish. It's causing things to look strong and awesome as hell. But when people wake up in your audience and look beneath the surface, this is looking under the hood at a used car. You don't want to buy this car. It's worn out. It's got a great paint job, brand new tires, and shiny rims. but mechanically speaking, it's shot.
So rich people get that. They were getting that 1% money for free. They were investing that in the stock market, and look at how much money the rich people can make. But regular people who actually work and get a paycheck, they don't have access to that kind of money. They're not going to go borrow that money and put it. And so they're lagging so far behind it, and all that, everything, eggs, gasoline, rent, raising a kid. So my fear is that, so right before this was 2008 when this went, and I have a feeling that's coming. In fact, it looks like it's going down again, right? Is that, am I?
No, that's a line to show you. It's still going up.
It's still going up?
One thing to compare, though, perhaps just for analysis, not that my crystal ball is making a prediction, but the delta, the difference between the orange dashed line, household income, and what the stock market's worth. Household income is your floor.
Right.
That's where reality lives. So when everything craters back to reality, that's the distance, that giant distance that things can fall. And there's an economist that I follow, Mr. Dent, who's talking about markets losing maybe 86% of their value. Most of it's inflated. The stock market was 7,000 when it started to rise again in 2010. So if you thought of that as a realistic level, and today it's 40,000, where did all the greatness come from? It came from the printing press. It came from something artificial, which goes into your accounts, which goes into your salaries, which goes into the cost of everything you have or own or invested in. And that's why you want to look at gold and silver as a location. There's 4 locations for your money: cash in a safe at home, real estate in the financial world, and in the vault.
And gold is the vault?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, that's quite a chart, actually. When you look at it like that, that is quite a chart. So now when the stock market starts to crash, is that just people saying, "Hey, they fear that, just like a bank run, they want to go get their cash out, and so everybody starts taking their cash out of the stock market at one time"? Is that pretty much how it works?
Such a great question. It doesn't even have to be everybody. If the market is worth around $50 trillion today, experts have said there's only $6 trillion on a good day of liquidity behind that number. So if your values are here, but the actual pool of money is way lower than that, if 10%, just by analysis, if 10% of folks wanted to sell everything they had, then it becomes a game of, well, if I'm a financial institution, do I want to part with my precious liquidity for your shares? I may not want your shares. So then the shares just fall even lower and lower and lower and faster, because what's more important, Jimmy, in that analysis? Money or someone's shares?
Right. Got you.
Money. And that's the other thing when people think, well, here's what I'm worth. Oh, is that money? No, if it's in an investment, that's not money. That's something you still have to sell for it to become money.
Right.
It's not money. You can't go shopping at Walmart with stock in Walmart, right? So you'd have to liquidate that. If you're waiting and there's a choke point that can easily be triggered, where yes, a lot of institutional action wants to liquidate what they're in because they see things going lower and they want to lock in profits. Don't forget, most of the institutional advisors are bonused in December based off performance for the year. They want to watch the level of their bonus shrink for some reason. So if they all start running for the exits, there's not much liquidity available. Prices can fall very, very quickly because no one really wants shares. You can't build a home with shares, right? You can't buy groceries with shares. You can't pay for your kids' college with shares. You have to turn that back to money. So before any of that crash happens, you want to say, well, is it likely? Is it possible? How close might we be to that? And relocate some or a good portion or some giant portion of your retirement savings to something you feel more secure about. You can't protect your home with stock and Smith & Wesson, but you can protect your financial savings with real metal, just like you'd protect your home with an actual Smith & Wesson.
Okay. Well, Paul, I know you live, do you mind if I tell people where you live? Is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. I'm a very happy resident of a very red state.
He's in Florida in West Palm Beach. Now, you used to live right down the street over here in Santa Monica, correct?
Right, near Santa Monica.
Near
yes.
Santa Monica. And
Yep.
Steph and I love West Palm. It's one of our favorite places. But
I love rain, right? And I love a warm ocean, right?
A warm
You know, it's
ocean.
not necessarily the politics, but the people are nice and friendly. You know, it's a great state. But I love rain, and we get incredible rain here, incredible cloud formations here. I just love Florida.
yeah, we were just in Chicago. It rained the first 2 days we were there. And
Well, maybe. Sorry, it rained on your vacation.
yeah. Well, we were working. But anyway, Paul, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for this chart. Thanks for your insight on the gold rush that's happening, according to Bloomberg. And everybody should check out Paul's Substack at thepaulstone.substack.com. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jimmy. It was great to be back.
Okay.
Love you, man.
Okay, you too. Hey, I believe in having a substantial percentage of my financial future secured with gold and silver. That's why I decided to partner with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secured self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market, or for that matter, what the government is doing. Let the team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We put together a special offer for our audience. Click on the link in the description below or call the special 800 number and you'll receive a safe and up to 10 grand in free silver. That's real. Up to, depending, but go find out. Go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show or call 888-910-1419. Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Duluth, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.